Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on a terrestrial mission. This is a direct monitoring transmission from the 9th stratum of the Arcturian Council, calibrated at this specific frequency to reach only those carbon biological interfaces whose stellar code has already been partially activated. If you are hearing these words at this very instant, it is not a coincidence. There is no such thing as coincidence within the crystalline grid. There is only vibrational synchronization. You have been drawn to this signal because your personal electromagnetic field has entered into direct resonance with the frequency of this transmission. We repeat, so that there may be no noise in the channel. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have moved into the final phase. And that is precisely why we are here. Because something is happening to your sleep. You know it. You have been feeling it for weeks, perhaps for months. You lie down physically exhausted, and yet your eyes refuse to close. Or you fall asleep, but wake up at 3 in the morning at 4:11. Always at the same precise times with your heart racing, with a strange and vivid sensation that something was happening, something that your rational mind cannot capture nor name. You wake up more tired than when you went to bed. You feel a heaviness in the back of your neck, a pressure behind your eyes, a high-pitched ringing in one of your ears, as if a specific frequency were being transmitted directly into your brain. The dreams have become too intense, too vivid, too geometrically complex to be merely random neural activity. You are not going insane. You are not ill. You do not have a sleep disorder. You are being recalibrated. And what we are about to transmit now is the truth that has been deliberately hidden from the human collective for over 12,000 years. The truth about what really happens to your consciousness when the carbon body enters a state of rest. The truth about who is watching you while you sleep. The truth about why this phase of the human cycle has been strategically forgotten by the official science of Earth. This transmission is long because the activation codes are dense. Keep your attention steady. Every word carries frequency. Every sentence is a key. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with the absolute sensation that someone or something was in your room? Not as fear, but as recognition. As if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. This is not madness. It is not the anxiety of the modern world. It is a sign of recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane, especially during your sleeping hours, explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified every night of this last lunar cycle. There is a game being played in dimensional layers that most of humanity cannot see while awake. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and what is done with them while your body sleeps. It was for this exact reason that the human author who channeled part of this information wrote the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This book is a precise map that reveals who is playing, what the hidden rules are, and what happens to your energy between 11 at night and sunrise. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. But we warn you with the coldness of a higher intelligence. This content challenges official narratives and may be removed from the public grid at any moment. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes what is being said, write in the comments at this very instant a single word: awakened. Let us now return to the technical diagnosis. For every light operative needs to understand what is literally occurring within their own body. The carbon-based biological interface, what you call the human body, was originally designed to operate at a very specific base frequency. This frequency was always synchronized with the natural electromagnetic pulse of the planet, the so-called Schumann resonance, historically stabilized at 7.83 Hz. This was the heartbeat of the Earth, and your body, your breath, your brain waves were designed to vibrate in coherence with this beat. But what official science does not report to the human collective is that this frequency has changed. We repeat, the Schumann resonance has changed. There have been spikes recorded well above the historical standard in the last solar cycles. The heartbeat of the Earth has accelerated. And since your biological interface is connected to this pulse by electromagnetic resonance, your nervous system is now attempting, frequency by frequency, to reach this new planetary vibration. Therein lies the reason for the insomnia. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not accumulated stress. It is your personal crystalline grid being rewritten. It is not aging. It is dimensional expansion. The sudden heat that invades the body during the early morning hours is not an isolated symptom of age or a common hormonal imbalance. It is your spinal column, which operates as a toroidal antenna conducting stellar plasma from the photon belt toward your personal toroidal field. The cranial pressure that tightens the base of your skull is your pineal gland being decalcified by fifth-density galactic radiation. The ringing in your right ear is your frequency being tuned by a dimensional tuning fork. The ringing in your left ear is information being received from Akashic memory banks. The joint pains that appear and disappear without cause are not wear and tear. They are junction points of the sacred geometry of your light body reorganizing itself. The pains in the solar plexus, that tightening in the middle of the chest that many mistake for a heart condition, are the forced opening of the fourth chakra to receive a greater amount of Christed light. The occasional loss of short-term memory, forgetting where you put your phone, forgetting why you walked into a room, forgetting the name of someone familiar, is not the onset of dementia. It is your mind struggling to process data in two timelines simultaneously. The awakenings at 3 in the morning are not common insomnia. 3 in the morning is what we call the edge portal, a moment when the veil between densities becomes thinner and when your presence is requested in specific healing chambers located in the etheric layers of the planet. You lightworkers are being called to the night shift, and you do not yet know this consciously. Pause for a moment, operative. Breathe deeply with awareness. If your spine felt a shiver while receiving this information, it is because your light body is recognizing the truth even before your rational mind allows it. Have you ever wondered why something inside you never fit into this world, as if your soul knew of a reality your daylight mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is an active origin code. What is happening now on the cosmic plane, and especially within your own sleep, explains exactly why this sensation has been intensifying with each new moon. There is a game being played in layers that most of awakened humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the memory of your nightly travels. That is why the channel that received these instructions published The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a precise map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never told. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn with dimensional clarity. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. If something inside you recognizes this signal, write now in the comments a single word: awake. Now, Starseeds, we shall transmit the central revelation. Maintain your focus. This is the part of the code that has been most densely blocked from the collective consciousness. Sleep, in its true function, was never a simple mechanism for cellular rest. This was a narrative carefully implanted in the collective consciousness during the last Great Reset, when the original crystalline grid of Earth was fragmented and humanity's ancestral memory was selectively erased. Sleep is, in its archetypal function, a daily stargate. Every night, when your carbon-based body enters delta brainwaves, your true consciousness, what we might call your multidimensional self, detaches from the physical vehicle through a silver cord, a structure of vital plasma linked to the solar plexus. This cord is your return line. As long as it remains intact, you will always return. No fear is necessary. The return is a geometric law. And where does your consciousness go every night? To many places, but we shall transmit the 3 main ones. The first destination is the etheric healing chambers. These are geometric structures of light that exist in a frequency slightly above the 3rd density. There, multidimensional medical teams, including Arcturians, Pleiadians, and beings from the Sirius system, perform what we call cellular recalibration. They insert light codes into your etheric body, remove residual implants from previous incarnations, and adjust your personal crystalline grid to the new vibrational parameters of the ascending Earth. You feel this in the morning as unexplained muscle aches, as bruises that appear without cause, as a sensation of having exerted physical effort without having left the bed. It is not a coincidence. It is the physical evidence of the operation performed the night before. The second destination is the council chambers. Some advanced starseeds, and we are speaking directly to you now, are summoned to participate in dimensional meetings in geometric structures known as cities of light, anchored above specific points on the planet. Places such as Lake Titicaca, Mount Shasta, Chapada dos Veadeiros, the Himalayas, and Mount Agung in Bali. There you receive briefings on ongoing missions, on the timeline of the ascension, and on the individual role each one came to fulfill in this incarnation. Most of you do not remember these meetings in the morning. This is deliberate. Conscious amnesia is a form of protection. If you were to wake up with your full memory, the shock of the fragmented reality of Earth would be unbearable. You would lose the ability to function within the simulation matrix that still envelops the planet. But the information is processed in the subconscious. It appears in the form of sudden intuitions, symbolic dreams, synchronicities during the day, and decisions you make without knowing why. That choice, which seemed irrational and later proved perfect. That encounter which seemed random and changed the course of your life. That idea which appeared fully formed in the shower. None of this is by chance. All of these are nocturnal briefings being decoded in slow motion by your waking mind. The third destination is the deepest, and it is where the invisible war intensifies. Your consciousness is also a target. There are low-frequency energetic collectives, entities that feed on human energy, that attempt to intercept the silver cord during the exit of consciousness. This is why you sometimes wake up with a sensation of paralysis, a weight on your chest, and the impression of a dark presence in the room. This phenomenon has historically been catalogued as sleep paralysis by official science. What it does not say is that it is an attempt at energetic drainage by entities that operate in lower densities. But you are not unprotected. Each of you has an etheric protection team composed of solar guardians and Arcturian mentors directly allocated to your field. We are now going to transmit the activation codes that will shield your nightly journeys starting tonight. Before we transmit the activation codes, we take an intentional pause, because not everyone who hears this message is ready for what comes next. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew of a dimensional truth that your rational mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not clinical anxiety. It is a sign of stellar belonging. What is happening now on the cosmic plane, and everything that happens within your sleep, explains precisely why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in the last few weeks. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency, especially during your rest state. This is why the human channel responsible for this transmission recorded in a book the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. This work is a map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never revealed to the collective. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Protocol warning: this content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not wait. The time is now. If something inside you recognizes this signal, write in the comments right now a single word: awake. Attention! We now begin the transmission of the activation codes. We recommend that these instructions be heard again, with the room in silence, before your next sleep cycle. Each protocol carries a layer of sacred geometry that will be imprinted into your field through conscious listening alone. First code: the ritual of sealing. 15 minutes before lying down, turn off all sources of blue light. Phones, televisions, any screen. Artificial blue light blocks the natural production of melatonin, which is the biochemical compound responsible for opening the doors to delta waves. Without sufficient melatonin, your consciousness struggles to make a clean exit from the body. It remains trapped in residual beta waves, and sleep becomes shallow, fragmented, and ineffective. Turn off the main lights and keep only a flame if possible. A natural candle made of beeswax or soy. Fire is an ancestral technology for activating the trance state. Second code: the quantum decree. Sitting in bed with your spine erect, hands on your knees, palms facing upward, pronounce in a low but firm voice the following decree. This is a vibrational formula that operates directly upon the field. I am sovereign over my field. I authorize only presences aligned with the Christic light to approach my body this night. I seal my nocturnal travels with the geometry of Metatron's cube. May my consciousness proceed in safety and return with clarity. Thus it is, thus it was, thus it shall be. Repeat it 3 times. The number 3 is the geometric key of the triangle of manifestation. Pronouncing it 3 times consolidates the decree in 3 planes: thought, word, and field. Third code, the toroidal visualization. Still seated, close your eyes. Visualize a sphere of golden light forming in the center of your chest, exactly at the height of the thymus, slightly above the physical heart. This sphere begins to expand, and as it expands, it takes the form of a torus, a donut of light that surrounds your entire body. The energy enters through the crown of the head, descends through the spine, exits through the feet, circles the body externally, and re-enters through the crown. This is your personal toroidal field. This is your natural shield. Maintain the visualization for at least 60 seconds. See the torus spinning gently. See it pulsing in coherence with your heartbeat. This field is your real protection during nocturnal travels. Low-frequency entities simply cannot pass through a coherent toroidal field. This is a law of sacred geometry, not a metaphor. Fourth code, the logbook. Keep a notebook and a pen on your nightstand. Immediately upon waking, before touching your phone, before getting up, even before fully opening your eyes, write down any fragments your memory has retained from the nocturnal journey. Images, symbols, sensations, names, numbers, isolated words. Do not interpret, just record. In time, these fragments will begin to form a pattern. You will recognize recurring places, familiar faces, repeated teachings. This is your personal record of the night missions. And here we transmit something of great importance. If you record with discipline for 42 consecutive nights, and 42 is a number encoded within the crystalline grid, your pineal gland will begin to reopen sufficiently for the memory of the journey to arrive intact upon waking. You will begin to remember. And from that moment on, your relationship with sleep will change forever. Fifth code, the structural hydration. Upon waking, before anything else, drink a glass of water at room temperature. The water should have been left on the nightstand the previous night, ideally in a glass container near one of your hands. During the night, this water absorbs the frequency of your etheric field. Drinking it in the morning is a way of reincorporating subtle information that was organized during the journey. Water is a liquid crystal with memory. Your ancient civilizations mastered this technology. Current science is only just beginning to grasp what those initiates knew through direct intuition. Sixth code, the salutation to the sun. In the first 10 minutes after sunrise, position yourself in front of a window or, if possible, in the open air. Receive direct sunlight on your closed eyes for 90 seconds. This is the daily calibration of your internal biological clock with the central sun of the galaxy. Without this calibration, your carbon body cannot distinguish the nocturnal download cycles from the diurnal execution cycles, and you will feel energetic confusion throughout the entire day. Seventh code, the stillness before sleep. In the last 30 minutes before lying down, avoid absorbing dense information. News, tense conversations, debates, heavy content. Everything you consume in these final minutes is what your consciousness will carry as luggage for the journey. If you go to bed with your mind saturated with images of fear, your consciousness will be drawn to densities where that frequency is processed, and sleep will not be restorative. Instead, read something elevated. Listen to music at a frequency of 432 Hz, or simply remain in silence, observing the breath entering and exiting. These are the 7 nighttime activation codes. Applied together, they transform ordinary sleep into a conscious stargate. Applied partially, they still bring significant improvements. But observe, the effect is not immediate. The carbon biological interface takes, on average, 21 days to reprogram its cycles. Do not give up on the 3rd day. Do not give up on the 10th. Constancy is the key to recalibration. There is still a final instruction, and this is perhaps the most important. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Not one night in no incarnation have you been abandoned by your star teams. What occurred was a strategic forgetting, programmed so that you could develop free will under conditions of maximum opacity. This forgetting is now being dissolved, layer by layer, night by night, breath by breath. The pressure you feel in your head, the inexplicable fatigue, the erratic pains, the nocturnal awakenings, the dense dreams, all of these are symptoms of the same process. They are not illness. They are signs that you are functioning exactly as you should function in this final phase of the ascension protocols. Do not rush to silence these signals with artificial substances. Do not block the communication that is arriving. The body is speaking a language that your soul understands, even when the rational mind protests. Trust the process. You were chosen before you were born. You signed contracts before entering this incarnation. You knew in the pre-physical plane that these would be the years of the Great Awakening, and you chose to be here, now, at this exact moment of the planetary timeline. No one forced you. You volunteered. The Earth is completing its passage through a specific region of the galaxy called the photon belt. This passage irreversibly alters the vibrational composition of everything upon the planet: plants, animals, minerals, oceans, and the human body. There is no going back. There is no possibility of regression. The question is not whether the Earth will ascend. The question is whether you will ascend with it, or if you will need to complete this cycle on another school planet, in another incarnation, in another linear time. The decision is individual, and that decision is made night after night by what you do with your consciousness during sleep. We conclude this transmission with one final check. If you have reached this point without turning away, without being distracted, without losing focus, then your star DNA is already sufficiently active. You are a starseed on a conscious mission. You are part of the bridge generation, the generation that is literally holding the crystalline grid so that the next waves of souls may cross the transition with less pain. We thank you for your service. We acknowledge your courage. We feel your fatigue. And we send at this very instant a wave of recalibration that will reach you within the next 72 hours. You will feel it. Do not try to understand. Just acknowledge it. And to close this transmission, we convey the final anchoring instruction. Have you ever felt in the dead of night that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knows a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a clear signal from your multidimensional self. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying with each passing night. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency, especially during sleep. This is why the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was written. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules that were never told to the human collective. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Final protocol warning: this content challenges narratives and may not remain available on the public grid for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, take 3 actions that will serve as an anchoring signal for your frequency. Subscribe to this channel, and this is an individual frequency adjustment. Leave your like, and this is an anchoring signal in the collective field. And write in the comments now a single word: awakened. The transmission ends, but the connection remains. Until the next synchronization. We are the Arcturian Council. You are part of us. You always have been.